All right, everybody, it looks like we are ready for our next run. Give it up for LRock617 running the Simpsons arcade game. Now, LRock, we had a bid war, LRock.
We sure did, didn't we?
Now, the winner of said bid war was Lisa.
She does need braces, so I completely understand why we're going to be playing as Lisa. Okay, thank you so much. And thank you so much to everybody who donated. Alright, everybody, this is my second game for the weekend. Again, congrats again to Steel City on hitting 1K for Hugh Lane. Amazing accomplishment. Very proud of all of you. Today, I decided to submit I knew I wanted to submit a beat 'em up for this marathon, and I haven't run Simpsons for Steel City before. It's a game I've been running since 2017. Initially started as kind of just a credit feed speed run. Moved on to running on the 1cc about like a year later, and it's been a game I think I just de-rust at least once a year just to make sure I'm okay on it. I do speedrun the Japanese version, just so everyone knows. So for anyone that's only played the version that was released here in the States, you're probably going to see a number of things that you're not used to, like that nuke that just dropped in the game over screen. We'll be making use of that. Of note, the Japanese version is only 2 players, so I get to choose my character right at the start, so I don't have to like switch the controller forward just to play as Lisa. But yeah, for those that aren't aware, The Simpsons had a Konami beat-em-up released back in the early 90s. It's aged pretty well, as Konami beat-em-ups go. It does have some cool double-team mechanics, as you've seen there, and other than that, it's just button-mashing fun. But there's actually some really cool speed tech to it, so let's go ahead and insert our credit. I'll go ahead and patch over to our Braces Queen. Start ready on timer. All right, 3, 2, 1, Lisa. All right, so we're about to head in her cutscene. The plot line of this is very Simpsons appropriate and incredibly silly. Smithers steals a diamond from Mr. Burns, drops it after bumping into Homer on the way out of the jewelry store, and then the diamond falls into Maggie's mouth. But instead of, just trying to procure the diamond like any good villain would, he becomes an even better villain by kidnapping Maggie. And that's our story. We have to go rescue Maggie from the clutches of Smithers and eventually Mr. Burns. But at least we're going to be doing a lot of the twirl jump rope. That's our special attack. Really, really good. Also of note for the Japanese version, we have more access to weapons. You probably recall seeing the hammer in the American version, and we'll be seeing that as well, but this broom in that tree is Japanese exclusive. Gives us some really good boss kills. 2, 3, 4, throw. 1 more, and down. That's stage 1. Lisa doing her 2-frame jump for joy. Good quotes. Of note, the 4 playable characters are all voiced by their original voice actors, which I think is really cool. After stages 1 and 6, we get these bonus games. I'm going to do some mashing here. You don't really have to win these the same way you do in the US version, and I'll explain why here in just a moment. I just do it just because, it saves time. The faster you finish, the faster you get to move on to the next stage. Up and away! So, in the Japanese version of the game, you get a health refill at the beginning of every stage. In this game, you only get health refills at the start of 2 stages, and that's only if you complete the bonus stage. That's why it's that much more important. We're going to be a bit more loosey-goosey with it here. More weapons. Here's Sam's little helper. Cool, he jumped out of the way. He usually either jump kicks or slides, and I anticipated and just baited out and hit him from there. More whipping. More whipping. Alright, now we have the hammer. These weapons are not transferable between stages. Once the stage concludes, your weapon's gone. They thought that might balance it out, but no. Here we get to see the real power of these weapons. This move that I'm doing here does not exist in the US version of the game. This dive that we do that's essentially a one-shot on these enemies is just absolutely busted. It gives us excellent movement because we dive faster than we can run or jump or whatever. And it gives us velocity with which we use to defeat enemies. It's really, really good, and we abuse the heck out of it. Double kill there. Wabbits. And these hat guys are pretty annoying. That guy decided to be even more annoying by juking around me. Okay, so my hammer beats his. Get a double kill, take this guy out. I can hit that rabbit, but I don't really want to. This guy, I'm gonna just do this. Snowball over there is also a weapon, but we have a better weapon. Krusty Balloon's gonna spawn, which is our boss. Pretty short boss, but we did get bad RNG. If he goes to the back like that, we have to wait out the cutscene and just do it again. It's only a 3-cycle fight, but whether or not he does the cherry bomb swarm it's not up to us. There's probably a frame rule to it, but it's arcade games. Like, it's constant dice rolls anyway. Anyway, we chase Smithers down into the cemetery, and to me, this is where the game truly picks up. Stage 3 is one of the first true challenges of the game. We also get some really good music. The sound design team did a really good job of this game. It sounds like a Simpsons soundtrack would sound. TMNT, I feel, got the same treatment. Okay, that was strange. Alright, so these ghosts I can mostly ignore, but that one I actually do have to take out. This is also notably the first stage where we don't get to use one of those absurd melee weapons, broom, hammer, etc. Nice double kill. That guy, the umbrella guys are normally a problem. They're actually behaving pretty well here. Watch this guy pop out of the tree. We get temporary health in this version of the game too. Take out that zombie. The slingshot also is much weaker in the US version of the game. For these zombies, it takes 3 hits to eliminate them with a slingshot. Here it only takes 1. We just get to be easy breezy beautiful this whole way. That was unfortunate. Don't normally miss that shot, but that's okay. Nice double kill. I have to give shoutouts to Zerch for that slingshot toss double kill. I did not know about that prior to him finding it. He bought me from our world record back in 2018 before I got it back, but he unearthed a ton of new strats that saved something like 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes on the run overall. So it's traditional for beat-em-ups. Now we have an elevator. I'm actually not going to beat any enemies here because it's actually faster to wait till we get to the bottom and a lot less dangerous as well. So this is a great time for donations. It's an auto-scroller.
Absolutely, LRock. Thank you. So I gotta say, Deg shared a good allegory in chat about this game absolutely eating some quarters of his.
Yes.
In the late 2000s. So, you know, I gotta say, chat, why don't we get a donation train? Share with me your favorite arcades that ate your quarters from your childhood. Let's bring back those memories, huh?
For me, it was either TMNT or WrestleFest. Pretty close. Before we get to more donations, though, I do have a boss fight I'm going to fight here. I have to line this up correctly. This fight's actually really hard if I don't get this quick kill, which is why I'm going to go for it. To line this up right here, perfectly to these 2 barrels to get it. Let's go. Yay, rhythm game. Let's go. If either one of those guys breaks out of that loop, you're in a lot of trouble. They both cause problems. Anyway, I love the arcade game donation incentive. Classic. Hit that, please. Thank you. Alright, so Moe's Tavern is actually a pretty standard stage. Unfortunately forgot the name of the replay channel, but there was a content creator who showed that there's a hammer in the top of the bathroom door, and no runners of this game had discovered that yet, so I was the first to implement that. Pretty useful. For the most part, though, we're just going to be doing the huge here. Swap that out for a broom. I do that because throwing that hammer at the guy on the left is just faster than going over and hitting him, and we get a backup weapon, so you don't do that in a 2-player game, but you certainly do it in a 1-player game. I'm going to go hit this guy at the pool table. Got time for one quick donation if there is one after Lisa dances here.
Yeah, absolutely. Just want to shout out the Hugh Lane Wellness Foundation as we keep going. We did officially hit that $1,100 mark for the Hugh Lane Wellness Foundation, so keep on going, chat. We'll get going.
Heck yeah. So this boss is pretty easy compared to the last one. Stand behind him, do a short hop with an attack. The controls automatically lunge you forward, and you only have to do this 10 times before he's down. As long as you're standing behind him, just like I am, he can't hit you. It's a complete exploit, it's really silly, but it's really good, so we do it. Nice quote. Up the elevator, because we came down once, we gotta go up one. Also, shout out to Jazz, I guess. Or onto the butt. I know it's beaut, it's still the butt. This is probably the hardest stage in the game. It's very big and open, heavily layered. There's just a lot of stuff you have to worry about at any given time. Like, slow down, apparently. That was awkwardly timed, but okay. Or incredibly well timed, whichever. I'm actually gonna grab this boulder for multiple kill. Okay, he got out of the way, fine. So this part's kind of tricky to do optimally. You have to kill the enemies in a pretty specific place to get it to move as fast as you want. We actually got it, so that's great. But I still didn't get to kill them very quickly. I'm actually gonna take some temporary health here. Got a slingshot back. That was unfortunate. He juked me. We're just gonna pivot the slingshot on the bridge. Let's take enemies as we go. Do that, please. So if we were Bart, throwing the slingshot would automatically spawn this broom. For some reason, his throw trajectory is lower to the ground than the other characters, so he just gets to spawn it for free. He's the only character that gets to do that, so it's exclusive speed strat to him. But I wouldn't necessarily call it a good one. Bart has other downsides that don't really make up for it, but still. This broom was actually discovered by Makina, a former runner of this game as far back as like 2016. And it turned this fight from one of the most challenging boss fights in the game into a complete joke. Because if you don't have the broom, you have to actually time out your rhythm of your hits and combo him and do all kinds of silly garbage. But with the broom, it's just easy peasy. The only thing you have to worry about from there is the boulder RNG that comes from the top. So now we're out of the forest. Maggie gets kidnapped for the third time in this game, I think. We got knocked out and we're off to Dreamland. Not to be confused with Kirby Dreamland. Okay, normally I'm able to sync those guys up for 3, but that's fine. Let this guy come up here, hit them both. Dreamland's pretty simple. Of note, there's also no healing in this stage that's easily obtainable, so I just generally don't bother. Saxophones are the hardest enemy in the room. As long as I'm able to lock the guy there on the right, we're good to go. These letters make great throwing items. Take out these power plant workers. Shout out to Metal Gear Solid. We're gonna take this right up here. One more hit should do it. Okay, so here's the next great discovery that was discovered by Zeus. This nuke is really helpful here, because these Bart Devils were by far the hardest enemy in the room until that nuke was discovered, and it also turned that into a joke. On to our boss, this giant bowling ball, where we also spawn a bowling ball item. This is like a 4-phase fight. First phase is pretty simple. Don't get run over. Pretty easy. You can do that before he leaves, but it's pretty hard. Time that with the hop. I don't think I got all the damage. I think I only got 1 hit. You want to get 2. Yeah, I didn't get it. Only slightly late. It's fine. Moving on to the third phase. Here come the missiles. Comes a missile, I guess. Guess I did pretty well there. Of note, while he's transforming between phases, he's actually invincible. It looks like he's taking hits, and he technically is, but he's not losing health for it, so I'm not actually doing damage to him. I do this to maintain rhythm. Last phase, just tee off with the lasso. It's actually a jump rope, but still. That'll finish him off. Why is it a Simpsons boss? I mean, Homer's the bowler. It's a hobby. Also, the Simpsons house in the background on a cloud, which is a cool visual. Okay, so the next stage is our last full action sequence stage, but we have a quick bonus stage first. We have to wake ourselves up with this white glove. Of note, my co-op partner for this game, Dark Alexander, discovered that you can actually do a lot better at this bonus game if you're good at, I think it's a speed strat called hovering. Link to the Patch Runners do it. Really, really powerful in those bonus stages. He can finish those like 3 seconds faster than I can. Oh, that was very unfortunate. I can't say that's ever happened, but, you know, it's a marathon. Things happen that don't happen. So, Channel 6, which for some reason is Stage 7, I'm not going to go into why they made that decision, is a pretty long stage and would be a very difficult one if we didn't have a hammer right at the start of the stage. This gets to clean out a lot of problems. Also, Mary Poppins, y'all. Quick mid-boss. This giant robot. He's invincible until he starts walking again, so I have to time out my hits. There's also a despawn trick I'm going to go for here. If I kill those 2 guys before the robot despawns at the top, I get to despawn more enemies that would spawn at the top of the screen. Really useful. Forgot how I discovered that. It was definitely by mistake, because that's how all speed strats are discovered, I'm pretty sure. Now we on to enemies that are definitely not foot soldiers. No way, no how. Grab the pie in the sky. We got time for a quick donation. Hope the train's going well.
Absolutely. Thank you, LRock. I do have a donation in here. I have $25 from Katie. It says, "Happy birthday, Deg. Go fast."
Hey, happy birthday. One more.
I do just want to hand it over to the Humane Wellness Foundation. Just want to talk about them real quick. They have support groups in Pittsburgh for LGBTQ youth called Affirm. Youth will learn how to create a chosen family, identify coping skills, and celebrate their identities. Shout out to the Humane Foundation.
You can see with this boss, not much to say. He's about dead after this cycle, and it's just a hammer boss. You use hammer on him the whole time. You get your 3-hit cycles. The enemies that spawn are more of a threat than he is. You can take them out with some well-timed hits. Anyway, thank you so much for the donations, everybody. Okay, here comes our last stage. Stage 8 is... It's technically short, because there's no, full-blown gameplay to it. It's just 2 boss fights. But it's 2 boss fights that are required to be learned. We don't have weapons for this, so they both require strats. First we have Smithers, who had blue hair once upon a time.
Welcome to my world.
I tried to spawn a healing item, but that's okay. So for the first phase, I'm going to do 5 of these jump rope spins. Now I have to bait out hits, because he's going to get iframes. Can't remember if I do 5 or 6 hits here. That's 2. Please, do your thing. What we do is I bait out the cape melee, and then go in with a hit. Missed a hit, though. That was unfortunate. Bait out again. Okay, should be able to finish it from here. I think it's 6 more hits. There we go. Alright, so we got a couple hidden healing items at the top, and Smithers also drops a number from himself. Get a bunch of temporary health. We might need it. Alright, on to Burns.
Welcome to your grave, sucker.
Who there sounds nothing like Burns. So the strat here is I want to get him all the way down to the bottom of the screen. I want to manipulate him to get in front of this bookcase. Now, I will warn, this is the hardest thing Lisa has to do in this game. The Burns boss fight, for some reason, is a fight I just haven't figured out quite that well with Barter or Lisa.
Where do you think you're going?
So I kind of have to alter my timing a bit. So he lost the giant suit, now he's on shreds. The idea is I want to be just far enough above him to where I can hit him, but he can't hit me. And he'll repeatedly bounce into my hits, and we essentially get to infinite him to death. He can break out of this. My hope is that he doesn't. He's also invincible during transitions, so that was unfortunate. That's also something that happened. Yeah, he broke out. I'm not surprised. Now we just need to do more damage. When he's in inner tube mode like he is now, he's really fast. He has a really good attack with the claw stab. So I'm probably going to get hit a lot, which I'm not looking forward to. If he decides to just do that, it's completely invincible. Like, I can't stop him. Let me switch up to safety here. I kind of want to retain the no-miss pace. Jump kick's a lot safer here. In this case, it's falling rope, but still. Almost had him again. Yeah, ordinarily, if you're able to get your timing and your rhythm down really well at the wall, he's just supposed to stay there and you're supposed to get to beat him that way, but he managed to get out. It's unfortunate when that happens, but we can still salvage this. I'm glad I got all the extra health, though, that's for sure. May take a moment. Okay, so that'll be the end of the fight. Time's gonna be when Maggie falls on Burns, and time.
GG. Great run.
Thank you. Not the final boss fight I wanted. I was afraid he was going to do that. It's just, with either of the two kids, it's very, very difficult to maintain that timing, so we did what we could. But it was still a good run. I'm always going to be happy with a 17 in a marathon. Like, the game needs to cooperate a lot to even get that. But yeah, once again, so we rescued Maggie, we had a bunch of cameos there at the end, and now we have an ending credits sequence that is actually just ripped from an episode from the first season, I believe. Let's skip right to the enter initials, just so we know who we are. I've actually never entered these initials, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And of course, congratulations to Steel City for raising over 1K for Hugh Lane. And thank you all so much for having me. I had a great time. Hope you all did too. Hope to see you all at the next one. And up next, we got the NES block, which will be an awesome time. So I will be hopping off. Take care.
Thank you so much, LRock. And give it up one more time in chat for that amazing Simpsons